Good evening, everybody. This is Eddie Schaefer welcoming all of you to the home of the East Side Story. And thanks to you wonderful people who keep filling up this room each and every night because you love the nostalgia, the flavor, the romance of the old East Side as we knew it. People say to us, what gave you an idea for the East Side Story? We know out of the East Side. Stars like Jimmy Durante and Eddie Cantor, all these wonderful stars made such great names for themselves, and we decided to go back to the Lower East Side and find you exceeded. We searched high and low all over the East Side and along 2nd Avenue and 4th Street. We saw a circle of people listening to a little girl sing a song. And when she sang, she just swept the people off their feet because we watched this little undernourished, underfed little Jewish girl sing. And when you hear her sing on our show tonight, you'll agree with us that she is the biggest thing that you've ever heard in show business. If I'm wrong, let's prove it. Let's bring her out with a nice big hand. Here she comes, Esther Solomon.
Well, here I am, folks. Somebody talk in living color. Oh, ich weiß nicht. Könnte mal haget werden, du. You all know Sammy Davis Jr. is very strong. And so is Maybrick. Well, one morning Sammy wakes up early, goes to shul, and when he comes home, May is sitting there, bedraggled and dirty and tired, you know. And Sammy Davis says to her, May, why do you look this way? She says, the Schwarzer didn't come in today. And now, a song from my native land. This is a song that I do with feeling. I love this song. And I'm going to give it to you right from the Cadero. Havana Gil, Havana Gil, Havana Gil, fish my dog. First Schwarzer you ever saw with platinum hair, right? Havana Gil, Havana Gil, Havana Gil,
See the way she walked? You'd walk like that too if you had no talcum powder. And now, ladies and gentlemen, those two wonderful boys, the Barton brothers. The song they made famous was called Joe and Paul. So if you're ready for fun, let's bring them on, and here they come, the Barton brothers! Come, hey!
Sitting the other day in a blank and blue hotel, sitting two high-class gentlemen and talking. One guy turns to the other, he says, you know, Harry, I just got a beautiful French poodle for my wife today. The other guy says, how did you make such a good trade? Right next to them, two elderly women that talk, and one turns to the other and says, you know, Sarah, I figured out. I'll be around next year. I'm going to California. The other one says, if you wouldn't be around, come to Florida. I saw a scene I can't forget the other day at a bar. A fellow walks in with a little dog, sits down. The dog sits on a stool, puts the both paws on top of the bar. The bartender happens to be a horse player. Very sad fella. He turns to the guy. He says, yes, sir, what do you have? The guy says, I'll take a scotch and soda. As he turns around, the dog says, I'll take the same. So the bartender says, don't stop me. Don't throw the voice into the dog and make believe it's a talking dog. The guy says, what do you want from me? It's a talking dog. The bartender says, I bet you $100 he don't talk. Put your money on the bar. The bartender pulls out $1. He says to the dog, here, big mouth, go get me 3 packs of Camels. Half hour, an hour and a half, no dog. The bartender takes the money, puts it in his pocket. The owner says, don't get excited, it's a little puppy. Maybe he got lost. Let's go outside, we'll take a look. They walk outside, there is this dog with another dog jumping, kissing, running, having a wonderful time. The owner got so mad, he grabbed the dog. He says, you son of a gun. He says, you never did this before. The dog says, I never had money before.
So how do you like me so far? I'd like to say good evening, too. I'd like to say I was standing in the back and the show has just been playing beautifully. Incidentally, it's 11:15 for those of you who take pills. We get humor from you people, and God bless you, some of the greatest humor in the world we get from you folks. And sometimes there's a little tragedy attached to the humor, and we ran into such a case recently. The eternal triangle. The husband, the wife, and the lover who should live and be well. This has been going on for 15 years, the husband, the wife, and the lover. Finally, the wife, she got a little bit sick, she passed on. You should have seen this funeral. The husband is standing there with his head bowed, but the lover, he's banging his head against the ground, such a gavolt you never heard in your life. Even the husband couldn't stand it. So he walked over to the lover, he says, Harry, contain yourself, I'll get married again. Now please just slow up the act. I saw a scene down here I must pass on to you. There was this elderly gentleman who was standing in the pool and the water up to his knees. And the sun is beating down on him and he's having such a wonderful time. And this very, very attractive elderly woman comes walking towards him. And you should know this boy, he's a real Beau Brummel. A boy from the Boyas. The last of the big spenders. And he stops this woman and he says to her, he says, pardon me. He says, I've been watching you around this Platz. He says, all week long, he says, and I dig your type. And I would like to take you out, he says, because it so happens, he says, that I am a widower. And she was a Wasser girl, you see. She just came out of the Wasser. And she says, I'll tell you the truth. She says, I've been waffing on you all week, too. She says, and I've been watching you down there by the pool with your shorty shorts, doing your calisthenics. And I would like to go out with you, too, she says, because it so happens, she says, that I am a widow. So the widow and the widower are both standing in the pool and the water up to their knees, and the sun is beating down on them, and they're having such a wonderful time, and he continues talking. He says, I'll tell you what we'll do. He says, right after supper, we'll sneak away in mine convertible. He says, we'll go down there by the Eden Rock. That's where the Eden Rock, you know. He said, we'll do a little dancing there. He says, a little church and a little merengue there. He says, and then we'll get back in mine convertible. He says, we'll go back to mine hotel. He says, and we'll sneak up the back way to my room. There, I got a bottle of Manischewitz there. And we'll have a wonderful time. She said, that's very nice, she says, but I think we better go into the deep water because everybody can see what you're talking about.
You might remember several years ago we had the pleasure of introducing a record, the first time in the history of Yiddish recordings that a record sold over 1 million copies, which I'd like to thank many of you people for. Your request, our pleasure. If you remember it, sing it along with us, Joe and Paul.
Hey, I bye, W, B, V, D. Hey, ya, bye, W, B, V, D. Hey, ya, bye, ya, ba, ya, bye, ya, ba. Every Sunday morning over W, B, V, folks are buying millions. Joe and folks begin a buying billion as soon as great the cavities. Praise the land like paying.
Ladies and gentlemen, this particular number which we're about to present is a recorded number and happens to be partly in Yiddish. And for those of you who don't understand the language, may I take a moment of your time to explain that Yiddish happens to be a very powerful language. When you say something in English, it just means what you say. However, translated from English into Yiddish, suddenly it takes on feeling, power, depth. You might remember a wonderful book written not so long ago called The Night Stood Still. Just what it implies, the night stood still. However, in Yiddish, suddenly it becomes Steht bei mir die ganze Nacht. And for those of you who don't understand the language, I am very happy and very privileged this evening to have brought along a wonderful translator.
That's fine.
Mr. Translator, come here. You ready, Peter?
I'm ready, Cookie.
Where's the Peter cookie? Mamas,
Mothers,
teure Mamas.
dear mothers,
Kommt euer Mann heim, spät bei Nacht von einer schweren Tugarbeit.
does your husband come home from a hard day's work?
Ist sehr miet.
He is very meat.
Arbeitet bei der Non-Union Biscuit Company.
He works at the Non-Union Biscuit Company.
Ist dort, wie man rief das, Cookie Tapper.
He is what you call a peace white girl.
Ist sehr ein neues Secretariat.
He's a very nervous chap.
Smokt 8, 9 Päckchen Zigarettes jeden Tag in jeder Nacht.
He's a heavy smoker.
What are you taking, shortcuts? Bei der Nacht, die lässt sich schlufen. Lasst euch nicht schlufen.
At night, when you go to sleep, he doesn't allow you to sleep.
A ganze Nacht, hießt in Bullshit.
Would you like to try this one? All night long he coughs and I pass. Now, ladies, a pleasure. Joe falsely always take your measure for a suit and coat. They can fit you if you're better. Hey!
Thank you, Frank. Ah, you're wonderful. We'd like to do this song introduced on Broadway, ladies and gentlemen. It's dedicated to horse players, and it's called Troubles, Master. What's the matter, lady? You never heard a good voice? I'll tell you something, if you're going to laugh, I wouldn't sing.
Hello, Mel.
Hello, Elvis.
Elvis?
Let me ask you something. If they call Elvis the pelvis,
Yes.
what would they call Edsel?
Poison? Hey, Lucky.
Lucky. Right, I'm lucky.
I heard you got plenty of trouble with the drugstore.
I am sorry I bought myself a drugstore.
And I heard that you lost your best customer, Mrs. Goldberg.
I thought you fight with that Mrs. Goldberg you never saw in your life. I get in the car and driving 7.5 miles.
It's a long trip.
Forgot the keys to the store.
Hey,
Turned around the car, got hit by a Chinese laundry truck.
Chinese?
Cost me $200, damages the car.
How's the car?
Driving sideways. I get to the store, want to pass out.
What happened?
All the medicines, the bottles, the Band-Aids, everything is laying on the floor.
And who did it?
The cat was celebrating Simchas Torah. And walks in my biggest creditor, says to me, Klein, you don't pay the bills today, I'll lock up the whole drugstore.
That dirty dog.
In the middle from all this happiness. Is ringing the telephone.
Who was it?
Mrs. Goldberg.
Mrs. Goldberg.
She said to me, Mr. Klein,
Klein.
I bought by you yesterday a thermometer.
Sure.
How should I use it? That's how I lost, Mrs. Goldberg.
Oh, trouble, trouble. And then we have our share. It's trouble for money. A weekly millionaire. Hey.
Whatever Lola wants, I haven't got.
Hey, Lucky.
Lucky. What, I'm lucky.
What's the matter?
I'm going to a large meeting.
Yeah.
I'm crossing over the street. All of a sudden comes along a taxi cab.
I text
There's
you.
my shot in the back.
Oy vey.
I'm laying in the gutter.
Yeah.
He sticks his head out. He said, hey, you, look out. I said, what's the matter? You coming back? I get to the meeting.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky.
But I'm lucky.
There's no meeting.
Oh, boy.
It's what they call a stag.
Oh, boy.
Yes, running around there, all kinds of naked girls. Everybody's smoking a new cigarette, what's called marijuana. All of a sudden, it's starting to bother by me, the conscience. I called up my wife. I said, darling, it's not a meeting, it's a stag.
Of course.
There's running around here naked girls.
You said it.
What could I do?
So what did she
She
say?
said, if you could do something, come right home.
Oh, trouble, trouble. And then we have our share. It's trouble for money. A weekly millionaire. Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. And then we have our share. It's trouble for money. A weekly millionaire.
On top of old Smoky, I nearly lost my life. What should I tell you? Old Smoky's my wife. Lucky. I stop at it with that lucky. Right, I'm lucky.
I heard you got plenty of trouble with the wife.
You heard the news?
I heard.
I'm getting a divorce.
You getting a divorce.
Married 40 years, getting a divorce.
40 years.
It all started, I wanted to be a nice guy. I promised my wife on the 40th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
I would take her to Paris, France.
Oh, you're a sport.
We checked into a beautiful hotel.
And the Rue de la Paix?
I didn't know who was going to pay. She's going upstairs with the bellhops with the luggage.
Yeah.
I seen the corner sitting a beautiful French girl.
You dirty dog.
I don't know from nothing. I walked over to her and I said, bon ami, my chérie.
In perfect French.
She said $20. In perfect English. I said, I'm a wholesaler, I'll give you 5. She said, this for you and that for you.
That's what she said.
I said, if I was that, I wouldn't eat this. He said, $20.
$20.
I said, I'll give you cartouches. He said, that's 25. I said, $5.
Stuck to the price.
He said, goodbye, monsieur.
Bye-bye.
I went upstairs, I took a look at my wife.
And she's a real doll.
A Yiska doll. I said, sweetheart, get dressed. I'll take you for dinner.
Because you spend the loot.
I'm walking in the lobby with my wife.
Yeah.
Ay, what I'm lucky.
But I'm lucky.
Along comes this little French girl.
Yeah.
She takes one look. She says, Monsieur, you see what you get for $5?
Oh, trouble. I'll tell we have our share. It's trouble. We're funny. Oh, we can get in there. Oh, it's trouble. I'll tell we have our share. It's trouble. We're funny. Oh, we can get in there. Hey,
The expression they use, "You ain't heard nothing yet," was originally coined by one of America's most beloved entertainers, Al Jolson. Not too many years ago, he was taken on a tour of the Lower East Side of New York, and he visited the restaurants and the cafes. He fell in love with the cry of the violins and the voices of the different singers. He loved the romance of the East Side. He went back home to California, and he said to his friends, should anything ever happen to me, I'd want nothing better than to leave my voice in the heart and soul of a young man from the Lower East Side of New York. Do you hear him? Do you hear that voice? This kept ringing through our ears as we searched throughout the East Side, because we knew that the voice of Jolson was still alive. We looked everywhere. Then one day, in a little off-Broadway theater, a young man on a stage with his collar open, tears coming down from his eyes. And the people loved the way he sang because his voice was the voice of Al Jolson. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you, and he's here in person, everybody, Norman Brooks.
Rock-a-bye your baby with a Dixie melody. With every note, Jolson wrote a page in history. In dreams I still can picture old Al deliver his magic song about that Swanee River. Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. I'd give the world to be among the folks in EIX. I even know my mammy is waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. The folks up north will see me no more when I get to that Swanee shore. My Yiddish mom, I love her more than ever now. My Yiddish mommy, I long to kiss her wrinkled brow. I long to hold her hand once more as in days gone by, and ask her to forgive me for the things I did that made her cry. How few were her pleasures. She never cared for fashion style. Her jewels and her treasures, she found them in her baby's smile. Oh, I know that I owe what I am today to that sweet little lady so old and gray, to my wonderful Yiddish mama, mama of mine. as I held you so close in my arms. Angels were singing a hymn to your charms. Two hearts were beating and murmuring low, my darling, I love you so. And the night seemed to fade into a blossoming, into a lovely dawn. And the sun shining so brilliantly shone on you, honey, and that wonderful dance, it went on. And if we could but relive every moment we had, then those moments were so sublime, we would find that our love is an altered by time.
Marmalade! Norman, forgive me if I interrupt your applause. I'm an old sentimentalist. I've been in this business too many years, and I've heard too many singers and too many voices. But yours is America's most beloved voice. You thrill people. You're wonderful. You are a star. You are a star. Back we go to the Lower East Side, ladies and gentlemen, from where came such great Jewish stars as Paul Muni, Lebedoff, Murray Schwartz, Tomaszewski, Menashe Skolnick, Molly Picon, Fanny Bryce, all these wonderful stars that made great names for themselves in show business. And back we go to the East Side to introduce you to another who never made it. He doesn't care, he says, because he'd rather stay on the East Side because that's where his people are. He stayed there so long that his people left. And now he doesn't want to be alone. Here he is from the Jewish musical comedy world. We give you the unpredictable, the last angry forbidden man in show business, MICHEL ROSENBERG.
East Side, what I'm doing with the East Side Stories, I'll have with yours. Yeah, what I tell for Jewish theater, Jewish, what have I got to do with Jewish theater? I don't even look Jewish. Such a beautiful crowd, such a marvelous turnout. And I'm very happy every night to see such a great, beautiful turnout. Happy. The kind of money I get, one table would be enough, because I can assure you. But I get paid over here from the Faculty Good Agents, you know. See, I'm happy with this crowd. Happy. I'll tell you the honest truth. Coming from the Yiddish theater, I would be happy if there was a smaller crowd. Because I'm not used to big crowds. They don't come there. I'll tell you the truth. Last time I played Yiddish theater in the middle of the first act, the man runs out from theater, gives a hold of the manager give me back the money. So what's the matter? They like the show. Shows all right, give me back the money. They like the actors, I was in the members. Komm, else sitzen allein im Theater. He's afraid to sit alone. Du liegst schon in der ganze Nacht. This is the reform section of it. Only for that kind of money, I'm not going to talk in two languages. I think I'll talk in this side, Robinson. Have you been on Lincoln Road lately? Rachmunis. They fixed up this Lincoln Road and they made a park out of it for trees and flowers. They call it a mole. A mole is a mole, you know. A mole is a cada. Don't ask me by what, because I'll lose the job. No, they're really beautiful. Spent fortunes, with these windows there, with the dressing, with the clothing stores. I was there the other day. My heart was aching. I had a conversation with two storekeepers walking around with a handful of infants in business. Monday I sold one suit, Tuesday not, and Wednesday was waste. It says, how could Wednesday be wasted? The guy that bought suit on Monday bought it back on Wednesday. I have to do it. There's still people making money. In this country, people make money. Anytime. Of course, in order to make money nowadays in business, you got to be a schemer, a man of ideas, tricks, a gun if you make it. It's American gun if it's not what you sell, it's how you sell. It's a slogan. I got a friend, Lifshitz, made a fortune recently, manufacturing brassieres. Brassieres for old ladies. It's the slogan that made him a fortune. Give Bobbers boobies. Some bubbies have no boobies, It's a fact. But I want you to forget about the troubles. I know how it is. Business isn't there. That's why psychiatry is doing so good. I got a friend went in psychiatrist. Psychiatrist says, before I can help you, I got to ask you a couple of questions. Are you married? Says, yes. Your wife happy? Says, why not? Got everything. Ming, stoles, diamond, jewelry, puts on everything. One time she must sit down, can't stand up. I got two sons. One goes to Yale, one to Harvard. I got a home in the Bronx, a home here on the beach. I got an Oldsmobile, a Cadillac. Next week they deliver a new Jaguar. Psychiatrist says, what's your trouble? Says, I only make $60 a week. That was English. That's right. So, smile and forget about the troubles. You think you're the only one with troubles. Everybody's got troubles. I got a friend, Eric, in there. I got a beautiful wife at home, gorgeous secretary in the office. I read that on the site, a note in the bank, and they're all 30 days past due. Do you worry, huh? You think I'm so happy? Standing here trying to be funny. About do bullshit to the Chayerian. Tomorrow morning I gotta be in downtown Miami, I gotta be in court. In front of the judge. Got a case coming up against me. Statutory rape. If I knew it's a statue, I'd never go near it. Nicest people in the world. And believe me that we feel, and I'm talking for the whole cast, all the stars that are appearing here, every night is a holiday. And I love holidays. I'm crazy about it. Any holiday. I'll even take Christmas. I switched a little bit, Christmas and you ever been Christmas week in Macy's department store? The kids are lined up in front of Santa Claus. You ask some questions. At first kid, what's your name? My name is Patrick O'Brien, Santa Claus. You look like a fine boy. You see those presents over there? Go over there and take one. As second kid, what is your name? My name is Tony Angelis. You're the Feinberg. Over those presents, you take one. As third kid, what is your name? My name is Samuel Lapidus. Them zwei. There, I love golf. A lot of people are crazy about golf today. The greatest golfing in the world is in a Concord. They got 2 golf courses, finishing up a 3rd one. Some people come there even that can't afford. They charge $60, $70 a day. I was there last July and a fellow walked in and you took one look at him. He didn't belong to the Concord, but he loved golf. So I made fun of him. He walked over to check in and says, I want to owe how much. I took one look, they said $10 a day. He says, I'll take it for the season. 20 minutes later, there's a golf course, opens up the golf bag, no balls. Goes over to closes, give him a dozen balls, how much? He says, $1,200. I said, $100 a ball? I only pay $10 for the room. He says, some hotels get you for the rooms. There's no other Jew in the world that can compare with the warmth and with the humor of an East Side Jew. They got such answers for anything. I know a lot of women in my travels. I talk of the East Side. The women come over and says, don't tell me I know Orchard Street. The women swear and curse and this. And I swear they don't curse. Man hat daran akludet. The other day I walk on Orchard Street. It's a woman in Shell. Durch gerissen werden, verdreht werden. So ich wachsen am Macke wie ein zämpfendiger Pumpe. He should lose all his teeth. He should remain with one. That should be for a toothache. The most devoted women you find on the East Side. Did you ever see a woman on the East Side going to a butcher shop buying something without smelling it first? You may laugh. Oh, she wants to make sure it's fresh for the family. I was in a butcher shop before the holidays came and a woman picks up her chicken, picks up the leg smells and wing smells and pip smells and throws it away. She says, fair. Butcher says, lady, can you pass such a test? I got a distant relative, a girl about 30 years old, got married about 4 months ago, went on a honeymoon. After 2 weeks came back, the mother walks over to his new daughter. How'd you make out? How was the business? Says, Mama, I married a Michigan, a crazy man. I married a complete Michigan. Mother says, why do you think he's Michigan? A kriegt of Menschen. Climbing all over people. See the troubles I go through over here with the translations? Would you believe me because of this? I wanted to give up the show business 1,000 times. At one time, I was an important star in the Yiddish theater. I wanted to give up the show business. Most of my life I gave away there. Then it got so bad, I had to take to the road. I'm appearing all over the country in hotels and nightclubs, different nationalities, doing all right. But still I get into trouble. 2 months ago I worked in Texas, MICHEL, ROSENBERG in Texas. Now I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I worked in a nightclub. Fella comes over to me and says, you Jew? So what'd you say? He says, you Jew? I say, yes, why? You want to fight? I say, who wants to fight? I need you for a million. I wanted to give up the show business, sincerely speaking. I had so many trades. I tried something else. I'm actually Mazel. Nothing worked out. Mazel's the most important thing in life, and I haven't got it. In fact, years ago, 2nd Avenue, they wrote a song for me called Mazel. If you remember, Mazel, die scheinste Move für jeden noch nicht von mir. It's nicht the way. Say my mazel. I wanted to show off with my voice. I got a cold. When I have such a great, beautiful audience. Mazel, mazel. And let me pour out my heart and tell you that I had so many trades. I was already a designer by Manischewitz Matzes. I was a lifesaver in a mikveh. Thank God for one thing. I'm not a gambler. Otherwise, what who give in there? Most actors, musicians, gamblers. Oh, I take my boss, Eddie Schaeffer. Always going around reading these, you know, the horse papers. Always with a horse shit in his pocket. All the time. Never see him without it. I don't know how to think about it. Scratch shit, horse shit, I don't know, thank God. But I'm so Jewish, that's going to kill me someday. 6 weeks ago, Brenner's Tropical. I was running a horse with a Jewish name, I had to make a bet. Menashe was the name of the horse. Menashe Schooling happens to be my best friend. Figure, no, Menashe Schooling can make a bet. Went out to the racetrack, took a look at the horse like they would come from one father and one mother, just like Menashe. And I made a good bet. You want to listen to me? Never bet on a Jewish horse. In midlife, what's the mantra? You just have zum Kaddish? my sex life? How good could it be? I'm still a bachelor. Never got married. Once in a family. I got 7 cousins bachelors. Would you believe it? 7 cousins. 2 of them got married recently. Smazlov's their seichel. Sal and Ivy. In their late 60s. Where the hell are they going? You went already that far. Finish up in there. Where you going? They're late 60s. What are you going to do? I wouldn't do it anymore. A man should know when he gets old. I found it out 2 weeks ago. I chased a girl around the room right in the middle. I forgot what I was chasing her for. These 2 cousins of mine, Sal and Irving. Isn't this stupid? At this stage of the game, almost 70 years old, got himself 2 chippies, a double wedding, went out to the Concord Hotel, got himself super deluxe rooms with double toilets, and they lived it up. You should look at these 2 grooms the following morning. After the first night, it's Sveig Hassan and the 2 grooms met in the dining room by breakfast. Sal says, Irving, I think I made a big mistake, Irving. Irving, ze nicht van meine Keuche sein. Irving, maybe you know of a good doctor, Irving. Irving says, what do you want a doctor? I want a doctor married the first night, the honeymoon. All night long, she, by me, Irving says, you feel that way about these things? I better go look for a psychiatrist. She says, what do you want a psychiatrist? It didn't even enter my mind.
The East Side, Joine Schimmels, Halaba, Indian nuts, skate keys. When you heard Michel or Rosenberg, this was the East Side. When you heard the Barton brothers sing, this was the flavor of the East Side. When you heard Norman Brooks sing like Al Jolson, this was Al Jolson singing. And when you heard Esther Sutherland, this was her people. But what have you heard on our stage tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with tears in my heart and laughter in my face? This was our story. The East Side story. Good night, and God bless you.